Hey there, how's it going? Welcome back to another freeform commentary video. I'm just going to be straight spitting today. So today, I wanted to talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Last night, I had nothing going on. I was just kind of hanging out downstairs, and I was like, I want to watch a movie, and I want to talk about the movie in a video, just because the new Alien had just recently come out, and I wanted to go watch that, but I'm not going to be able to do it this week. I have too much going on. So I just was thinking about movies that I don't know, maybe I wanted to watch again, or a movie I haven't seen, and I came to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie because recently the 10th anniversary of the series just happened, so I've been having it on the mind. So just to clarify, when I first watched the movie in theaters when it came out, I really liked it. I went in and I wanted them to do a couple of different things to make it a FNAF movie, and I feel like they hit all of those points that I wanted them to hit, so I was okay with it. But I did leave with the mindset of a FNAF fan, you know. It was a good FNAF movie as a fan. Was it a good movie as a viewer? So this time around, I kind of was I was being a little nitpicky, you know. I was looking for the flaws in the movie that, like, if I wasn't a FNAF fan, what really doesn't make much sense or what really isn't explained well enough. So just wanted to go over some notes I did today and come to a conclusion of my opinions on the movie because I thought it would be fun. And that's all you need these days. You just need to do things that are fun. So the first note I have here was who made that machine that kills the first night guard at the beginning of the movie? The Freddy mask that like comes down and has the blades on the inside and it comes towards the security guard. At first I was like, who made this? It's like that one meme with Squidward, where it's like who made the contraption in the Bikini Bottom that like spun and crushed Squidward in the machine or whatever. We don't get an answer for it very much, so we're led to believe or I guess I'm led to believe that maybe William Afton made it specifically to use on night guards, because in the movie, the whole reason he's like a job manager or whatever is he sends people to the restaurant so he can kill them. So I guess he could have just made that machine specifically to torture them, I guess. Nothing really debunks that. So I did notice a small detail that I did really like the second watch that I didn't notice the first, which was when Mike is in the office with William Afton, William is reading off his resume, and that's where he reads Mike's last name, Schmidt, and he connects that his brother that was kidnapped years ago, this is his older brother. So that is why William is like, oh, you need to work the night shift, you know, like pushing him so hard to work at the establishment. So I thought that was a small detail that was really cool that I didn't really click on. It also explains he shows up in the Spring Bonnie suit later on. He's like, oh, I killed your brother, now I get to kill you. In the first watch around, I was like, how does he know that? How does he know that they're brothers? But that's why. He recognized the last name, which was a very cool small detail. I did not catch that last time. So here's my biggest gripe with the movie. I want to get this point through. Throughout the film, the whole driving mystery, the whole big, what is this all about? Is Garrett, Mike's brother, who kidnapped him. How they go about it is Mike searches his dreams. He simulates the day his brother was kidnapped, and he searches his dreams for an answer. What I don't understand, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions in the comments if you have anything to add or something I missed about it, but what I don't understand is, let's say yes, you can search your dreams, dream theory, whatever, and you could find out details you didn't know in the moment, but how does that make any sense at all? You know what I mean? Like, let's say theoretically Mike did dream one night, like he was sleeping, simulated the dream, and then he saw the killer, and it was just some like big buff dude, right? Is Mike then going to wake up the next morning and like, I know who it is? Like, are you really going to base all of your information on dreams, which, you know, is just not real? You know, anything can happen in a dream. Maybe one of those dreams, Mike started to fly and Mike woke up and was like, oh, I bet the killer could fly. Like, that whole plot point just seemed it was very stretched and not set in reality at all. It was, I don't know. I don't like that plot point at all. It just doesn't make any sense. Another gripe I had with the movie was later into the film when the criminals break into the restaurant to destroy it so Mike can get fired. I don't understand how when they enter the establishment that break it, they do it during the day. I don't know. Would Mike really be responsible for something happening to the establishment when it's not during his shift? Like later in the film, Vanessa shows up and is like, it's criminal negligence. Like, sure. But I don't know. It's just, if he's working the night shift and throughout the night shift, nothing bad happens, you know, and Vanessa was there. That's an alibi. It was fine when they were there that night. But then the next day they show up and everything's destroyed. It's not his fault. Like, it just seems like a big plot hole to me that, like, why didn't they go during the night? Why didn't they show up and destroy everything while Mike was there and escape unharmed? Because then it would be his fault, Also, he's sleeping. Like, I understand that. No, they wouldn't know. In the movie, the babysitter, one of the criminals, brings up the fact that Mike sleeps a lot. Like, that's what she knows about him. He sleeps a lot. So they could probably assume, based on that information, that he's sleeping during his night shift. Why didn't they attack during the night while he's sleeping? They could more than likely go in, destroy everything before he wakes up because he's wearing those headphones, and then leave. And then, yes, he would be in trouble because it happened during his shift. But I just felt like them going during the day was just kind of... It didn't make much sense to me at all. I don't know. That might just be me. Like, I guess criminal negligence or whatever. But, like, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of stupid. Now, another gripe I had, but also a positive, was when I went into this film, I assumed, based on how Five Nights at Freddy's, the video game series, is now, that they were going to try their hardest to keep it as PG as possible. You know what I mean? Maybe there'll be a little bit of blood, maybe there's a little bit of swearing, but you shouldn't expect any deaths. I wasn't expecting any gore, but, like, it both delivered and didn't at the same time. Throughout the film, maybe the first half of the movie, up until the criminals show up to the restaurant, there's the death with the security guard and something else. I don't remember what. Maybe it was just that. Whatever. The first guard, he gets to this exit door, and we're gonna be talking about this exit door later. Okay, that exit door makes no sense. The guard shows up and he's pushing on the exit door, and then Foxy shows up in the hallway, and it just hard cuts to him in the chair. Like, they just kind of didn't show Foxy, like, no hook raise and then or anything. It was just like his silhouette. And then the guy went, I'm scared. And then bam, now he's in the chair. And then with the chair, when the device is about to kill him, it just pans out of the room. It doesn't actually show you the kill. So, throughout the movie, I just was like, damn, yeah, they're not going to show anything. They're just going to, there we go. People will die, but, you just have to assume that it happened because we're not going to show you because we're PG. But then that setup kind of made the scene with the criminals so much better. Like, I think that's probably my favorite part of the movie, to be honest. If not the part with Springtrap at the end. But I love the part where the criminals show up and start breaking stuff and the cupcake starts munching on the guy's face or whatever. I thought that was super whatever. It's like, oh no, he's got a puppet on his face. Like, I don't know, it's not very interesting. But then the babysitter gets cut in half and you actually see her bottom torso fall on the frame. And then later when Mike is in the back room, you can find their corpses, and the person who was like chomped on by the cupcake, he's fucked up, man. He's got holes in his face. He looks disgusting. Like, they did not hold out on some gore and some violence and actually showing you people dying. So shout outs. Thank you for that. Because, like, I feel like if they would have tried their best to avoid it the whole movie, it would have been so apparent, and it would have ruined a lot of the experience. Because at the end of the day, it is a horror film, and I want to bring up that this movie isn't scary, at least for me, and at least for, most people who go to Blumhouse films, or even just horror films, people who actively watch scary media. This movie is not scary at all. There isn't going to be a single point where you're like, ooh, tension or dread. But as an example, one of my roommates, Sam, he was watching the movie with me up until around the halfway point, and he doesn't indulge in much horror media besides watching it, like watching horror video games. He did play the new Five Nights at Freddy's The Joy of Creation demo, and yeah, so he's pretty good when it comes to horror video games, but I don't think he has much experience in horror movies. There's been multiple times while we were watching where he turned to me and was like, okay, this is actually kind of scary, where for me I was like, I don't know, it's not that bad. My main point of bringing that up was I'm curious whether or not this movie was scary for kids, which of course was the target demographic. I don't know, if you know someone who got scared by this movie, like, I don't know, let me know, comment down below, I want to know, because I'm curious if anyone actually thought this was a scary movie. Okay, so I've been looking at the negatives a bit much, so I want to move on to some positives, and one of the biggest positives was the soundtrack. I thought the music was perfect for Five Nights at Freddy's. It fit the tone of the movie, but also felt like Five Nights at Freddy's music. One good example specifically is there is a part on the first night of the movie near the beginning where Mike is in the stage and he's looking at the animatronics, and I swear that the music they used sounds exactly like the music they used in the first game. Like, it sounded pretty close, if not inspired by. Then there was the opening pixel cutscene intro, which, if you didn't know, Scott did an interview and he talked about how much he wanted that in the film. He was pushing for it super hard, and I think it came out awesome. Like, it looks so good. It feels exactly how like a FNAF minigame would feel. That intro got me hyped for the whole movie when I was in that theater, dude. I was like, yes, dude, they got a pixel art like opening. This movie's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I love the music. I love the intro to the movie. I like the characters a lot. I think the casting for the movie was done very well. There's not a single person who I think was casted like, you know, one good example of a video game movie, of course, is the Mario movie with good old Chris Pratt. It's a Mario. I felt like Chris Pratt didn't do a terrible job. You know, throughout that movie, of course, it wasn't Mario, but it also wasn't bad, I guess to say. It was just a voice for Mario. But I feel like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, every character kind of looks and acts the way I kind of want them to act from the games. Once again, this is kind of the perspective of a fan, where if you weren't a fan, I feel like they also just did a really good job. I love the casting for William Afton. What's his name? It's the dude from Scooby-Doo live action. Matthew Lillard, I believe I'm saying that right. He did amazing. He was by far my favorite character. He gets like little to no screen time at all in comparison to everybody else. But bro, his acting is so good. He felt like that creepy, quiet, shut-in, like William Afton murderer. I don't know. And then the moment he comes in with the suit, he's all cocky and shit. I don't know. I thought it was great. I think everybody acted well. And the only thing I can kind of say, like, I don't really know, was Vanessa. But I don't know if that's because of the actress or because of the writing and the script she was given. Because, for an example, let's loop back to another note here, which is there was 2 lines in the movie that were just like, I don't know why was this in the movie at all. And the first one was when Mike and Abby and Vanessa are hanging out in the restaurant. Abby gets hurt. When he's leaving, Vanessa threatens to shoot him if he brings Abby back. What? I mean, she's like a cop. So like, I feel like it would have been reasonable to be like, if you bring Abby back here, I will arrest you, or, you know, I will have to report this, something like that. But she immediately goes with, oh, I'm gonna kill you. Like, it genuinely just feels like it comes out of nowhere. I don't know why this was part of the script. Like, if you come back here, I'm gonna shoot you. I don't know. It feels like something like a 13-year-old would say. I don't know. Hated that part. Hate that line. But I don't think that's the issue of the actress. I don't remember all the movies she's been in. There's probably another movie I've seen with her in it. But everything else in that movie, I feel like she did a good job, you know? And then the second line, which will be a little bit controversial, I believe, is near the end, William Afton says his iconic line, "I always come back," which doesn't make any sense in this movie at all. And it made me so upset when I heard it, because even though, yes, I'm a FNAF fan, I want to hear the quotes. I want to hear the references, right? I like the Midnight Motorist shirt that one of the criminals is wearing. Give me all that fanfare, okay? I eat it up. But it's... why? This is the first time he's been in the movie. This is the first time he's been introduced in the story. He hasn't been killed and then came back and then said the line. No, he's about to be killed, and he's like, I always come back, because if you didn't know, it's me. I'm Purple Guy. It's a reference. As a FNAF fan, I didn't like it, and as just a normal viewer, I feel like most people are going to hear that and go, what? Like, what? Okay. I don't know. It felt so forced. You know, we were talking about this. Me and Sam and Brogan, my roommates, we were talking about this. How if they wouldn't have said it in this movie, because Scott has confirmed that the movies, like the more movies he makes, they're going to be based on the games, right? So the first movie is about the first game. The second movie is going to be about the second game. So what they could have done is they could have killed off William Afton in this movie, spring-lock suit, you know, everything perfect. Then in the third movie, he could have dropped the line before the fire or something. He could have dropped it later to the films, and that would have felt satisfying. It would have been amazing fanfare. It would have made sense in context to the story. Like, they had the formula set up, bro, but they whiffed hard. They just were like, oh, we gotta put in the line. He's gotta say it. He's William Afton. He's got the one line. That's what he's known for. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so much. I have maybe 1 or 2 more things that are negative to bring up before I give you my conclusion of the whole thing. But one thing that also made me very upset was there was this exit door right next to the office, and the exit door is used by 3 different people throughout the film. I believe it's the first security guard at the beginning of the film, the criminal, the last criminal during the break-in scene, and then Mike near the end of the movie. All 3 of these characters attempt to go through this exit door, and it's locked. And 2 of them end up dying to Foxy because of this, because they're pushing on it, and then Foxy just corners them and gets them. But miraculously, Mike pushes on it over and over and over again, and it just opens for him. Like, just for some reason, everybody else, lucked out. Nope, sorry, the door's locked. But Mike, Mike gets to open the door because, he's the main character. We can't kill him yet. There's 2 things I guess I'm led to believe in this scene, which is, 1, either Vanessa opened the door for Mike on the other side and that opened it, or 2, the other 2 guys pushing at it enough times has broken the seal enough that Mike was able to open it. But I feel like nothing really hinted at either. You're just kind of sort of supposed to believe that, make your own logic, because what happens is when he opens the door and then it cuts back to him later, he's in the police station with Vanessa in the little outpost. So that's where you can be led to believe that Vanessa opened it from the other side, but also, why isn't the other doors locked? I feel like that's normal. Why would Mike isn't going around unlocking every door before his shift? He just unlocks the front door, gets in, probably locks it behind him, then moves about. So I don't know. Maybe Vanessa has a key. I don't know. Once again, it's just not hinted at all. It's just kind of all right, no, it opened for Mike. Why? And then the thought about people trying to open it and then it wears down the lock and then it opens. I feel like that's logical, but I feel like that should have been teased more. For a good example, in the movie at the beginning, when the guy's sitting in the chair and he's about to get the Freddy mask to his face, he starts unscrewing the nut on the chair. And then later in the film, when Mike is in the chair, that one is already unscrewed, so he's able to escape. That was good. I don't know. That's something where when I saw Mike in the chair, I went, oh, wait. The screw, he's got this, So I feel like maybe if they did something every single time the door was pushed on, maybe they had a close-up of the lock, breaking or something, or it's rusting. Then by the time Mike starts pushing on it, everybody on the audience goes, oh, it's going to open this time. And it's more of a satisfying, yes, let's go. Sure, that might be more related to, luck, I guess to say. That would be 2 points where Mike was supposed to die, but he got lucky. But some substance that isn't just Mike starts pushing on the door, it's locked, and then he pushes it again. It's oh, no, it's not. Okay, so I believe we went through just about every point in this note I made that I wanted to go over. I have 1 or 2 that aren't that special, like the balloon boy jump scares that happen in the movie. They're not anything special. They're just cheap jump scares. I feel like they needed to have at least 1 because it's a FNAF movie. But whatever, that's nothing special. But overall, I know the whole video I've been nitpicking and picking out these small parts that I didn't enjoy about the movie, both as a fan and as an average viewer. But I want it to be known that I did really like this movie. When I watched it the first time, like I said, I really liked it. This second time, I was a little skeptical. I was shoot, maybe I didn't like the movie as much as I thought. Maybe I was just blindsided by the excitement of it all. But by the end, yeah, I did like the movie. I don't know, I enjoy the way the animatronics are perceived. I like the kid versions of them and the dreams. I feel like video game movies, the biggest fault video game movies have right now is pacing. The Mario movie was just super fast. They had to get everything out of the way. This is Mario. We're going to the Mushroom Kingdom adventure. It just feels like nothing really happened throughout the movie. It just ended. Same with the first Sonic movie. The pacing for that was just whatever. I didn't really like that one. Second one I think did better. A lot better. I like the second Sonic movie. But this may be an unpopular opinion, but I thought the Five Nights at Freddy's pacing was very good. They had to get through 5 nights. They had to get through introducing Mike, William, Vanessa, Abby, the animatronics, the kids who are haunting the animatronics, the big reveals like William being Vanessa's dad and stuff like that. I feel like they got all of that through in a very fast pace, but it wasn't super forced. One issue I thought I was going to have with this movie when I went into it the first time was this movie's just going to be Mike doing stuff and then sometimes he's in the office. But no, most of this movie takes place in the pizzeria. Thankfully, that is great in my opinion. I feel like it's great that we're actually in the environment where the spooks can happen most of the time. Whenever we do leave the pizzeria, it's usually just one scene. I think it's between night 3 and 4, Mike has to go get his sleeping pills. and then it immediately hard cuts to him back in the pizzeria. Like, that's great. I love that. Like, that we don't need to spend all this time outside because the main focus of the movie is in the pizzeria. It's about the scares. It's about the animatronics. It's about Mike making that money. So I thought the pacing of the movie was great. Once again, I love all the actors. I love the music. I love the intro. I love the scares. I love the gore. Like, one thing that people didn't like at all that I did was the scene where the animatronics are building a fort with Abby, Mike, and Vanessa. And I understand a lot of people were like, why is this happening? How have we gotten from this point to here? But I like the fact that Scott went out of his way to write this in a sense that the animatronics are still kids, you know? These are dead kids haunting animatronics. So if someone comes in like a burglar, like the criminals, of course they're going to be hostile. Their house, their home is being attacked. They're going to attack them, right? You know, the night guard is, I guess, I don't really understand why the night guard was being attacked. Maybe they, like, William told them to because William is controlling them. But once the animatronics start being friends with Abby, and then Abby reassures them that Mike is cool, and they already like Vanessa, you know, they get to put down that face. They get to be kids again. They get to play with and make forts. They get to hang out and draw pictures. Like, I just thought that made a lot of sense, you know? It gave a lot of life to these characters. It felt like there's a lot of layers to them. Where later on, when they were like, oh, we want Abby, I felt like that was justified because if you were locked in a dirty, old, dusty restaurant, stuck in a robot body for the rest of your life, and you made a new friend for the first time in like 30 years, yeah, I'd also be like, I don't want this to end. Let's fucking put her in a suit. Now she has to join us. Like, that makes sense to me. That makes complete sense to me. I don't know. That was something where everybody really didn't like that, but I don't mind it at all. I thought it was fine. I thought it was good. I've been rambling a lot throughout this video. I got through my points. Overall, I do like the movie. I still like it. I think it's good from a fan standpoint, and I think it's an okay, enjoyable experience from a point of view that isn't a fan. I feel like they go through all the plot points, and there's no really any confusion. At least that's what I thought. It's kind of hard for me to take that standpoint when I am a fan. But yeah, I think that'll do the video here. Like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. You know, like the video. I love making them. They're very simple, very easy to do. I feel like I have a one-on-one thing with my audience when I do this. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you whenever I upload again. Eventually. I don't know when. Sometime. Bye now. Bye.